What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags, and of course I'm back again with another video on the channel today. I've already did the video talking about Dan Ashworth's appointment as the new club's sporting director, and now I'm going to come at you with some more news about transfers. In this video we're going to be talking about the latest news going around on transfers, and of course that could change now that Dan Ashworth is the club's new sporting director. You know, we don't know what Dan Ashworth has in mind for the club going forward, so there could be some even bigger names being linked to the club yet. But in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest ones going around at this moment in time. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So first off, we're going to talk about Dean Henderson at Man United. Now this is a one that has been talked about quite a bit. It's a player, you know, that really showed himself at Sheffield United, and of course he showed himself last season as well when he was called upon by Man United with De Gea's absence in the squad a few times, and he was called upon Man United and he did really well when he was called upon as well. So, you know, he's a very young player as well. He's still got a lot left in the game, and he's an England international as well. So this is a very good appointment in my opinion if we can get him in. I mean, Scott Wilson here from the Northern Echo is talking about it. There will be a link up on screen now. And he's saying NUFC want Dean Henderson from Man United, which could mean the end of the line at St James's Park for the likes of Carl Darlow and Freddie Woodman. Now, of course, there has been talk that, you know, Carl Darlow could be actually included in this Dean Henderson deal. You know, it could be 15 million plus Carl Darlow for Dean Henderson. If that's the case, you know, that is a fantastic deal, because we are getting a young, hungry goalkeeper that wants to be in the #1 spot for England, and a player, you know, that is willing to show what he is worth. And of course we will be, you know, handing over a 30-year-old Carl Darlow who, let's face it, you know, non offence to the lad, he did his part when he was called upon, but he's not going to be challenging Martin Dubravka for that #1 spot, is he? You know, we want somebody that's going to be able to come in and challenge Martin Dubravka for that #1 spot. And I think Dean Henderson could be that person. You know, I think Dean Henderson could be the person to come in and challenge Martin Dubravka for that #1 spot. And, you know, when Martin Dubravka does eventually move on from Newcastle United, now that, of course, he is in his 30s, eventually he will have to move on. And if he does, you know, then it would be nice to have somebody like a Dean Henderson, or, you know, somebody of that ilk in there to be able to, you know, step straight into the #1 spot. And I think Dean Henderson would be a great buy if, of course, it was the way, like I say, you know, 15 million for Dean Henderson and a Part X of Carl Darlow. Even if the Part X of Carl Darlow wasn't in there, you know, and you could get Dean Henderson for 15 million, that is an absolute steal for a guy that, you know, has proven himself already in the Premier League when he was at Sheffield United. So definitely worth a shot, that one. Definitely one to keep an eye out for as well. Moving on to Daily Mercato. Daily Mercato, of course, have reported that Reims president sets conditions for Ekatike and sees him more at Newcastle United than at PSG. Of course, I did read this article to the best of my ability. Of course, I don't speak French, but I did use Google Translate, and I was able to read this article. And from what I could get from the Google Translate, of course, was that, you know, he feels Hugo Ekatike moving to Newcastle United would be a more fitting move instead of him moving to PSG. He feels, you know, and playing at Newcastle United would help the player progress a little bit with his career. And if he moves to PSG, you know, there's not really any guarantee that he is going to get first team time there, or even, you know, playing off the bench at PSG, neither, with the likes of Kylian Mbappe being there and other players as well that would be higher up the pecking order than a Hugo Ekatike. So, you know, the Reims president is saying now that a move to Newcastle United would be the better option. And of course, this was a person, you know, the Reims president, that was playing hardball with Newcastle in January. They were keep moving the goalposts on this one. They were keep moving the fee up and up and up, and eventually, you know, Newcastle just decided to say to hell with it. You know, we're not going on with that deal. The player as well didn't seem like he was really that interested in moving in January, but it looks like things have changed there, so that one could be another one to watch out for. But of course, you know, we have saying Dan Ashworth, this could be completely different now. There may be somebody else say, you know, that Dan Ashworth sees that's even better than Hugo Ekitike, or maybe, you know, Hugo Ekitike is the one that Dan Ashworth was, you know, putting to Newcastle to go and buy. But moving on from that, we've also got another post from Scott Wilson of the Northern Echo, and he was talking about Rems striker Hugo Ekitike, and he was saying that, you know, Rems expect NUFC attacking target Hugo Ekitike to leave this summer, but they're going to be driving a hard bargain for the teenager, both in terms of an upfront fee for the player and additional add-ons as well. So we'll have to see what happens with the Hugo Ekitike one. I think if they do play hardball with, where I think there's better options out there that we could be looking at as well. So we'll see what happens with the Hugo Ekitike one, but I think we should be looking at getting other people if they do want to play hardball on that one. Moving on to another article, and of course this one is talking about Renan Lodi coming in to Newcastle United. Now, Atletico Madrid would be willing to let Renan Lodi leave as long as the offer is no less than 40 million euros. That is pretty decent, considering, you know, that you'd be getting a Brazilian international, a player that's played at the highest level of the game. He's played Champions League football for Atletico Madrid. He's a player that does know Bruno Guimaraes. He's a player that also has played with Kieran Trippier at Atletico Madrid as well. So it's pretty much green light on all of the boxes for me on that one. It's a tick on all the boxes for that move, and we should definitely be looking to bring Renan Lodi in, because that would be an absolute bargain for a player of that calibre. Also, Yannick Carrasco is another one that Atletico Madrid are willing to let go. However, he's got a release clause of 70 million euros, and according to Mundo Deportivo, they're saying 70 million euros is an amount that is perfectly acceptable for us. I don't know personally. He is a player that has been linked to Newcastle United in the past. He is a really good player, but I think, you know, getting that fee a little bit lower would be a better deal for us on that one. Obviously, we've got as much money in the world, but we don't want to be daft, you know. We don't want to be taking that route that we've seen, you know, the likes of Everton do, or the likes of Aston Villa are doing at the moment, where they're going out and spending beyond their means. We obviously can go out there and we can spend the money because we've got the money to do so, but we don't want to be taken for a ride. You know, we want to be doing this the right way. We want to be going out there and getting players that can improve the team. We don't want, you know, people coming in who are just going to sit on the bench and collect a paycheck. We do need people that are going to be able to improve the squad coming in. So I do think Yannick Carrasco could be a player like that, but 70 million euros, I would be personally myself looking for a lower fee on that one, but still really good deal if you could get him in for a lower fee. But we'll move on to the next one, and the next one, of course, is Hellas Verona striker Giovanni Simon. Of course, he has had a very impressive performance in Serie A this season, and according to Gazzetta dello Sport, they are saying that Newcastle are interested in Giovanni Simon as well, who is, of course, the son of Diego Simon of Atletico Madrid. So, you know, we could have a good chance of getting him in at the club, of course, with Eddie Howe being very good friends with Diego Simon. Of course, with Simon, you know, inviting Eddie Howe to Atletico Madrid when Eddie Howe didn't even have a club. Like Eddie Howe was saying, you know, he was invited to go along and see how Atletico Madrid play and all that as well. So there's a good relationship there between Newcastle United and Atletico Madrid, and I think, you know, we could have a possible chance of getting Diego Simon's son to a club And like the saying, you know, he has had a pretty impressive performance in Serie A this season as well. But we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one moving forward. Another one is Newcastle are battling with AC Milan to land Lille defender Sven Botman, as well as keeping tabs on Reims striker, of course, Hugo Ekitike, once again mentioned in the Newcastle United circle for transfers this season. And Arsenal outcast William Saliba as well. This is coming from the Mirror. They're saying Newcastle fears 25 million Botman battle as fresh contract, and Arsenal outcast William Saliba as well is another one that Newcastle are looking at. So we'll have to see how it goes. But some pretty amazing players being linked to it. And like I say, you know, the appointment of Dan Ashworth yesterday might add even more big names to the books. You know, more big names to that list of players that are being touted around to join Newcastle United this summer. This is by far the biggest transfer window in the club's history. Like I say, it's the 130th anniversary of the club as well next season, the season coming. So it's absolutely a priority that we do go into this window looking to bring in only the best quality players that will improve the team. Strengthening in areas like the goalkeeper would definitely need to be strengthening there, as at the moment in time, non offence to Caldolo, non offence to Freddie Woodman, you know, but they're not going to be challenging Martin Dubravka for that number one spot anytime soon. They're always going to be, you know, second or third backups. You've even got Mark Gillespie, who is down at fourth choice, I would say, behind the likes of Freddie Woodman. And, you know, we definitely need somebody coming in there that's going to challenge. Like I said earlier in the video, Dean Henderson would be that person, I believe. You know, there's other players out there as well that have been linked to it in the goalkeeping position who are very good, very well respected goalkeepers. And, you know, I'm keeping a close eye on them as well. There's Strakova, I believe he's pronounced, at Lazio. We'll see what happens with that one. There's even Oblak as well from Atletico Madrid. There's other ones as well that have been touted to join Newcastle United. There's going to be everybody pretty much under the sun going to be linked to Newcastle this summer. So we're going to have to wade through all of these crappy articles from, you know, unreliable sources, and we're going to have to look at, you know, the reliable sources, see what happens with them. But some fantastic names being linked to Newcastle, and I've got to say, you know, I'd much rather have this than the previous transfer windows that we've seen, you know, in the past 14 years, because at least we've got ambition now. But anyway, that's it for this video, lads and lasses. Until next time, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and however, lads.